Hey buddy, so might as well start the music now. This is gonna be kind of a different video. I kind of want to reminisce on Dream Edition, and I meant to do this a while ago. I meant to do this on the 1 year anniversary of Joy or Sorrow Reds, but I ended up missing that. So I decided, what better time than now than look back at Dream Edition. This is just a video on Dream Edition. The 2 year anniversary of me uploading my first ROM hack videos coming up, so I'll probably reminisce on the entirety of ROM hacks, how I feel about them in that video. But for now, let's just take a look at Dream Edition, and let's take a look at what it, what it means to me. So, I started Dream Edition a very long time ago, and you can see that in like my YouTube uploads, like even a year ago, still have like in like the 140s here. It's taking a while to load. Apologies for that, but when I started uploading videos in Dream Edition, it was when I started out recording. When I started out recording, I was recording videos as squares. So the first Dream Edition video is this one, and it's Joy or Sorrow. So let's take a look at it. It should be Joy or Sorrow Star 5, which at the time, when I got the star, Gion said that it was like the hardest star that wasn't a red coin star that he had. And this is like kind of like a big thing about Dream Edition, is that like the normal stars were just so hard that you know, making any sort of progress is very, very difficult in that game. Yeah, this should be Joy or Sorrow. Yeah, Invitation at the Ancient Castle. Shush. So this like Joy or Sorrow was always kind of like special to me because it was like the level that Gion like uploaded quite a bit of, and it was like, I don't know, I was always fascinated with it because like the prospect of getting a red coin star in Dream Edition was just so crazy because it's just like you know, they were so difficult in the second run. The second run red coin stars were just nuts, and when Gion got Course 9 reds, that was like that was so awesome because, you know, no one else had a red coin star. At the time, you can see I have 0 stars. At the time, I used Star Display to warp into stages. I think the music just buffered. But yeah, regardless. I used Star Display to warp into stages because I really just want to play the second run runs, because everyone is interested in second run runs. Nowadays, I kind of criticize that style of play, just Star Display warping into stages. But I understand why people do it, and I did it. But what I would do was I would play these stars on a separate file, and at one point I would add them to my main file. So I would get like some of the stars that you know, Gion got and like were considered the hard ones. One big one that I got was Joy or Sorrow 120s. Let's take a look at that. The reason my Joy or Sorrow 120s was cool was because I think this was the first star, it should be the first star in Dream Edition, that no one else had when I got it. Because like I had pretty much just followed in Gion's footsteps, but I wanted to really hone in on Joy or Sorrow because it was a cool stage. Apologies that the videos take so long to load, by the way. But yeah, Joy or Sorrow, I don't know why I cared about it so much. I guess I just did. Yeah, also this is the first time I've gotten a star that no one else has. So that's a nice milestone. Good luck, Gion. That's the description right there. So you can see that this was like a big accomplishment for me, having a star that no one else had. And that would kind of be like the defining thing about Dream Edition. Man, these videos are not in good quality. I guess it's that 144p. Pretty sure it goes up a little higher. Yeah, 240p. Great options, man. But yeah, that was a hard level. Jeez, man, that bitrate. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure this was a star that I streamed live, wasn't it? Or am I thinking of a different one? No, this star got live. Yeah, this star has like a notoriously low bitrate. I don't know why, it just does. But yeah, this was another star that Gion didn't have. Because Gion was like the main proponent of Dream Edition. He was the guy that had every star. He was the guy that was pioneering the game. He was the guy doing everything. So, you know, getting a star that he didn't have. That was a big accomplishment. And Gion recently came back to the game, but he stopped again. The main star that made him like stop the first time, I believe, was Everlasting Encore Star 1. But after that, he came back. He never got Everlasting Encore Star 1. We'll talk about Everlasting Encore, obviously, but yeah. Precipitous Distress, you know, very hard stage. Or a very hard star. Also, this video is in horrible quality, so we're not going to watch it. I mean, we're not going to watch any of these. We're just going through the list of hard ones. I got this in less than 2 hours, which should have taken way more. Yeah, I got really lucky on this level, on Wall Melancholy. I never really struggled that much with the main stars, which, seeing as 120s and reds went as bad as they did, is kind of surprising. So around this time, I finally finished first run. I think my star count was updated to reflect that around here. Alright, now let's get to the big one. Joss Reds. Joss Reds was so huge, man. Enjoy Your Sorrow Red Coins was just genuinely such a huge accomplishment for me, and I think to this day it's the biggest accomplishment. Like in terms of just like pure scale, it's probably the most impressive thing I've ever done. In terms of the time when I got it, because at the time, you know, if you ask people now, they'll say that there's tons of stars harder than TD Reds that have been done, and tons of people have done them because, like, or not tons of people, it's a very small group of people, but it's more than you would think. Because of, like, stars like Heaven of Faith Reds, stars like that, tons of the Dream Edition stuff, all that stuff is seen as harder than TD Reds now. But this was the big one. This one was absolutely huge. Joy or Sorrow Reds took me a long time. And it was just so incredibly difficult to get. It's such a hard star with so many difficult jumps. It's still insanely hard. It's ridiculous that I managed to get this, honestly. Everything's like in like slow motion because my computer's really bad. But yeah, getting Joy or Sorrow Reds was just so huge. And now I think like 4 people have it. Yeah, it should be 4. But still, it's just, it's crazy. It's a crazy star. It's genuinely an insane star. And getting it kind of was like a big moment for me, because I was the person who was the first person to get a star harder than TD Reds. And that was just huge for me. And you know, now it's like, I get tons of stars harder than TD Reds. I have tons of them. But like, TD Reds is hard. TD Reds is really hard. TD Reds will always be hard. And being able to say that you've surpassed that barrier by just getting the star, not even going past it and getting stars hard, is a huge accomplishment. And I don't know, just having this is just like very, very big to me. And this star is, it's indescribable just how important this level is to me. It's not even my favorite level in the game, but it was the first that I got the red coin star in, so that's why it mattered. Another level that I played around this time was here, Bowser's Lost Ruin. Bowser's Lost Ruin is one of the few Dream Edition stages that Gion never touched. There's 3 that he never played. Course 15, T-Don, and this one, Bowser 2. He never did Bowser 2, because Bowser 2 is really, it's an acquired taste. It has really weird jumps. It has really weird everything. It's just a weird stage, just in general. But yeah, it's very odd, and there's just some very frustrating parts. The most frustrating part is the beginning. The description here reads, first person to get a star in the stage, and I can see why. Without a doubt, the hardest overworld 1 level to get a single star in, not the hardest overall. So what I meant by that was, like, in the overworld 1 levels in the game, this was the hardest one to get even 1 star in. Which is, you know, really cool. It's a very hard stage, and it has the good old mandatory first D, which is, you know, rough stuff. But, you know, what can you really do about it? The mandatory first D is like around here in the middle, a little earlier, right here. This mandatory first D is really rough. This one right here. I really don't know why the videos are going so slow, but yeah. Like, the frame rate is super slow. I have them at normal speed. regardless, it doesn't really matter. This first year is mandatory. You have to get a first thing. So yeah, B2, pretty cool stage. I like B2. It's probably my second least favorite. Maybe that's not even true anymore. I may like C8 less. But regardless, pretty cool. Alright. Another thing that is not cool about B3 though, or B2, sorry, is the key fight. The key fight is my least favorite thing in the game. Just like being honest here, this key fight is my least favorite thing in the entirety of Dream Edition. I did not enjoy playing this. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have it. Like if I played it today, I probably wouldn't have gone for this, like ever. Because nowadays I value my my own enjoyment of stars more. I value, you know, having fun a lot more than I used to. I used to be like, I gotta get hard shit. And I enjoyed a lot of the hard shit. I love this game. I love Dream Edition. I wouldn't have pushed it so far. But this was one of those things that's kind of reflective of my mentality to just push through and make progress no matter what. It was rough, but getting Key 2 is very big. To this day, I am the only person in the world who's gotten Key 2, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only person who's even attempted. It's a very, very annoying challenge. It's so bullshit for reasons that I could go on for a very long time about, but I won't. Just know it's very miserable, and I once choked. On the day I got it, I choked to like a jump like at the very end here, which really sucked, but getting that was nice. After Key 2, that led into my first determination. I think it was this star, right? Because I don't think I uploaded. Actually, it might have been this one. I'm trying to figure out which star is the right one here. But around here, my first determination was first Overworld 3 stage I played, but also my first determination was a pretty big turning point for Dream Edition. At this time, Gion had 130 stars, I believe, and around this time, I got 131. That was a really big accomplishment, just being able to say I had the most stars in Dream Edition after Gion had it for pretty much the entirety of the game's lifespan. That was big. It was around December 2019. Which kind of goes to show how much progress has slowed recently, that all of what I've shown you has been in 2019. I started this game in September of 2019. It's kind of ridiculous that it's taken this long to make very small amounts of progress, but I think that just goes to show how hard everyone has pushed this game. Not just me, but also everyone else who plays it, everyone who helps find strats, everyone who's in the Twitch chats, watching grinds, watching like 20-hour, 30-hour, 50-hour grinds. Just that way they can see that one moment where someone finally succeeds. I love that. But yeah. That's the importance behind my first determination. After that, it was just kind of smooth sailing. Started Bonds Toward the Future. That's cool. I had a very easy time with some of these stars in Course 13. Like, I think I literally got, like... I got star 4 after, like, 10 minutes after practice, and I got star 5 literally first try. Pretty ridiculous. I went back to B2. C8 Reds. C8 Reds, I accidentally clicked the video without clicking open and linked in the tag. It's not a huge deal. C8 Reds, beginning the tragedy Reds. Why do I have this video liked? I never like my own videos, what the fuck? Well, two major changes. For one, this is the start of the layout. The cool layout. We used this layout here, which had the input display and the star display. And also the videos were now in higher quality. Overall, this just improved like the viewability, I think, and I'm happy. But also, Course 8 Reds was nice. It was nice to have another second run Red Coin Star out of the way. It was my second one because I don't think I had Course. Yeah, I didn't have Course 9 Red at the time. So getting this out of the way was nice. It was really nice to have this done. There's not really much to say about Course 8 though. It wasn't like a huge, massive accomplishment. I got it in 2020. But yeah, not a huge, massive accomplishment. I mean that in the sense of scope. Because don't get me wrong, the star is insanely hard. If you saw the description, it took me over 15 hours. It's super hard. And it's incredibly You know, it's incredibly impressive in my opinion. But it was like in terms of scope, it wasn't necessarily just another star. It was still really big to have, but it wasn't like the stars that I think I was really looking at. It wasn't like something like, you know, like the Course 11 Reds and stuff, and like, which ironically I think Course 8 Reds harder than Course 11 Reds now. But Course 11 Reds was like a big endurance challenge. You know, Course 12 Reds and like the later levels and stuff. Overworld 3 Reds is pretty funny. There's not really anything really to say about it. It's just a funny star. I also got my first termination in Vizkix 2. Vizkix 2 was a good accomplishment because it kind of showed that like not all of these super insane jumps were impossible. It showed that like even the super crazy hard jumps were doable to get good at, and that was like a big thing. That was really good for boosting like the drive, I guess, to improve or just like play the game to have like a star like this be possible. Because at the time it was like debatable if the star was even humanly viable, and it took me like 10 hours or over 7 hours rather. If you don't know, the star has a very brutal ending involving some really difficult invisible wall kicks, which is the story for a lot of stars in this game. But yeah, not these, as a little earlier. These ones are, yeah, I mean, you can see it. They're very precise. That runoff is difficult. Just crazy all around. Getting up that ledge. Yeah, this star is nuts. I don't think many people talk about this one. It's nuts, though. 120s here is also nuts. I won't go too in-depth in it, but I remember getting very frustrated at that star. I went back to Ramby's Reverie. Still haven't done Reds here. I'll do it soon. Finished Bowser's Lost Ruin. That was cool. And around here, once I got my 150th star, I kind of stopped. Once I got my 150th star, I kind of took a break from the game. And I'm not really sure why I did. I guess it was because I was starting to like kind of come to the realization that like I'm kind of out of the easy stuff. Like, and you know, there was other things to play. You know, but it was mostly just like out of the easy stuff. Gotta do the hard shit now. You know, 149. Oh yeah, no input display because chat didn't tell me it was off. Well, yeah, that was pretty inconvenient. Yeah. Really is a great progress really going forward. Yeah. Having 150 was huge, man. 150 was like the 10 barriers are like a big part of this game. It's like 130, 140, but 150 was the first one that was like absolutely huge. Because having 150 stars is just a really big accomplishment. It really is a huge number for a game like this, and it's incredibly difficult to get that far. To this day, only 2 people have 150. Me and Akuro. But regardless, I took a break after this, and when I came back, I played some other games. Like you can see, I finally beat Extreme Edition. I also started E4. I played LU 1.5, which, you know, everyone knows how that went. We don't need to dwell on it. But I will say that if that game ever gets a remake, I'm down to fucking play it, man. The game has potential. I don't enjoy it in its current form. But I'd be down to play a remake of it. Came back 2 months later with Course 9 Reds. Course 9 Reds, great star. 3rd red coin star we did in 2nd run. It was good to have. I know I've only really talked about 2nd run, but in reality 1st run was just kind of happened. You know, Course 7 Reds, B3 Reds, you know, those are the really hard ones. But like Course 7 Reds was just annoying, but I did in like 1 day. And then B3 Reds wasn't that bad. There really isn't much to say about 1st run, which is why I never talked about it. But just know I hated Course 7 Reds. I practiced Star for like 6 hours, but I got it after only 1. Which is pretty fucking crazy, dude. Getting the Star so short was just like... And I remember at the end, I was just so worried about the ending of the Star. I was just scared if I was gonna get it or not, but I got it. Did some course 14. Did red castle, did yellow castle, did 120s. You know how the stars go. Those were like the big stars in course 14, so it was nice to have them done. Especially 120s, which at the time was like the star that was like harder than Joss Reds, or like at the same level. It's at the same level. It's not really harder, but it was like nice to have because some bro had got it like months before this. And I think a month before I got Course 14 120s, he had actually gotten Joss Reds, Course 10 Reds, so that was cool. It was just kind of nice to trade accomplishments, because like once I got JOS Reds, he got BTTF 120s, and it was just like the two of us just got two crazy things back to back, just like Stars Reds and TD Reds. And then we got each other's, and that was cool. That was really cool. I'll just let the video load, and then I'll move on. This is star number 154. Very hard star. Anyways, played Stars of the Beast 2. Stars of the Beast 2. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it because this is a Dream Edition retrospective, but you can see what I did. Stars of the Beast 2, E4. So I played a little bit less. I did this. I entered Final Tragedy. Or not Final Tragedy, I entered Everlasting Encore. Entering Everlasting Encore was very hard. And I feel like not enough people appreciate it, because similar to Key 2 and entering Course 15 itself, it's not a star. It's not a star. And because of that, I feel like it's kind of overlooked, because like it's not one of like the main objectives. But entering Everlasting Encore is very difficult. You have to do this in like very long slope section that I made an entire video about, titled like possibly one of the hardest sections I've done. But possibly like the hardest jump I've done in S64. Very clickbaity, but yeah. I think Final Tragedy is a very fun stage. Nobody had a star there for a very long time until Shikit and Yuya were like, hey, let's get stars there. So they did. The main reason why I never got a star here until like so long was because there was a guy called Yoshi who wanted to have the first star in Final Tragedy. So I was like, I'll just be respectful and just not to go for a Final Tragedy star until he gets it. But he never ended up getting it. He tried for a very long time, and he got close, but he never actually managed to pull it off, which he has expressed some interest in coming back, but I don't really see him around too often. I'm not sure if he's actually going to come back, but if he does, I hope he gets it. I really do. And it'll be really cool if he does. Alright. So, after that, I got WWM 120s, and then Cubic Phobic Reds. These two stars were just very hard. Cubic Phobic Reds is, the longest star I've ever done that isn't Overworld 3 Reds in this game. 48 minutes and 44 seconds. There are, like, some time off and, like, BRBs and stuff. Specifically at the end. Very hard star, though. Very proud of this one. WWM 120s is, like... It was cool to have, but at the same time, I kind of knew that I was, like, in the shadow of Reds. Which was, interesting. Well, not interesting, but, like, not necessarily demotivating either. It's just, like, I don't know. On top of having a very bad experience with the star is, like, just kind of something that I like to forget about that I did. Which is a really weird emotion to have for it, but... Yeah, I don't know. I can't explain how I feel about the star. I just do feel. Around this time, I got a new controller. I was having a lot of controller issues, and one of them actually killed me when going for Course 11 Reds. I did TD Reds, and then I did Everlasting Encore Star 1. This is one of the most disappointing videos in my entire life, because... The video is riddled with bitrate issues. Now I've found a solution to avoid them, so that way even if there is a bitrate drop on stream, it will not appear on the YouTube video. But back then I didn't use that solution, and because of that this video is in very low quality, especially in the second half. Getting an Everlasting Encore Stars was huge though. Gion had attempted it, but he never actually managed to succeed, which was disappointing considering he had a very, very close attempt that unfortunately died to the final area, which I also had an experience like that with the star. It's very unlikely he's gonna go back because he, doesn't enjoy the level. But yeah, just unfortunate. In general, Everlasting Encore is another kind of intimate stage, like similar to Course 10 in the sense that it means a lot to me, and it's very important to me. But Star 1 wasn't the only bit of that. It was also a little bit in the future where we had some other stuff. So let's look at that other stuff. Alright. So, Everlasting Encore kind of sucked the life out of me. I'm not gonna lie. And it was a very long time until I had attempted the next star there. Star 2. Star 2 is pretty fucking ridiculous. It was at the time like the hardest thing I'd done. Getting it was very exciting. I'm very happy I did it. I'm happy I like pulled through for it. Combined with a new strategy that made it a lot easier, but just in general, I struggled greatly. I struggled a lot with the star, and yeah, that was kind of frustrating, I guess. Struggling so much with the star. That's inaccurate to say. Honestly, that's inaccurate to say. I wasn't frustrating. It was just this level in general demotivated me because it was so hard to get attempts past the beginning, and I think that's what I meant by getting frustrated. But because like I struggled so much with the beginning of this level, still do. It's a hard beginning, and just fucking conquering it and just conquering a star, just finally getting those attempts going was so hard for me. It was so difficult. I struggled on it so much. And I was getting frustrated, and I felt like I wasn't playing well, but this level, honestly, has probably helped me improve more than any other level has. I don't think there's a single other level in any ROM hack that has improved me at the game more than Everlasting Encore. And I appreciate it for that, and I think it's a fun level. I think it's a fun level. Is it my favorite? No. But I think it's a fun level, and it's improved me a lot, and I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful for what it's done. I had some bad experiences with it. That leads into Final Tragedy. Getting Final Tragedy stars. After the two Japanese people, Shikid and Yuya, got them, I had moved on to get them myself. None of them took too long. Both took 5 hours each. I ended up getting Everlasting Encore Star 3, and then I made the theory task, and then Everlasting Encore Stars 4, 5, and 6, which was like a huge ego boost, because, well, for one, I had 160 stars. Getting 160 stars, which was Final Tragedy Star 2, by the way, was really gratifying. I mean, I had a pretty strong reaction to it on stream. Because it was exciting. I hadn't crossed the star barrier in, like, I want to say half a year. A 10-star barrier, that is. I struggled a lot to get to 160. It was very, very difficult. So getting there was, like, unbelievable, because I had been in the 150s for so long. I hadn't seen another 10 in so long. But, getting 3 stars in one day, that was pretty crazy. Going from 161 to 164 in one day was just nuts. It's nuts. It's just crazy. And very proud of that. Wall Melancholy Reds. Okay. We're nearing the present. Wall Melancholy Reds is a star I had horrible experiences with. I don't think it's the hardest thing I've done. I'm gonna be blatant. I don't think it's the hardest thing I've done. But it's close. It's very close. It's incredibly difficult. Its difficulty cannot be understated. But it frustrated me a lot. I got very annoyed at the star, and I had some of the lowest points playing any ROM hack playing the star. And not all of that was because of the star. Some of my emotions towards the star were because of, external factors that were just unfortunate. And it was rough. This grind was rough. But getting past his mental barrier was huge. And I think it's helped me just as a player a lot. Just getting past a huge mental barrier like this, I think it's allowed me to improve more. I think it's allowed me to get better at the game. And part of me is kind of happy I spent so long with the star. Because even if I hated it, I think I got a lot out of it. And now we're in the most recent 5 stars. Sukanento's Dawn. I love this stage, honestly. I was so excited for it. It's great. I actually got this first star offline in a VC with some friends. Cube Star was a bit of a tragedy because the attempt was so long, but at least I got it. Final Tragedy, Star 3, Internal Melancholy, and now the present. Here we are, man, just like at 170. 170 stars is just incredible, honestly. It can't be understated just how incredible it is to have 170 stars in this game. I can't express how grateful I am for it. It just feels unbelievable. And honestly, I don't think I would be here without the help of everyone who just like supported me constantly. I think, you know, it was a group effort to get this far. And I can't express how grateful I am for everyone who watches my streams, who, even when I'm not playing Dream Mission, they'll watch my streams. With 170 done, there's only 12 stars left in the game, and I'm going to tell you, next star is Bowser 2 Reds. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the future of Dream Edition. I really am. And I think there's going to be a lot of progress. I hope you enjoyed this retrospective. It was a little lengthy at 30 minutes, but I pretty much just gave my opinions on a lot of the stars I've gotten. And maybe at 180 you'll get another perspective, but I'm not sure. Maybe at 180. Why would I do it at 180? Might as well do it at 182. I might as well make some predictions, right? Because why not, by the end of the year, I think I'll probably have 177 by the end of the year. And that's going to be cool to see. So, yeah, we'll see if I was right or not. But no matter how far we get, I think we've really accomplished something here. I think we can all be proud of that. I hope you enjoyed this little retrospective. I hope you enjoyed me going back on my accomplishments. And I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you all on the next time. Bye.